Hi, my name is Jug, and you've caught me thinking about the SSS. What is the SSS, you ask? SSS is a social insurance agency, or a government-sponsored program that can be defined by four characteristics. The first being, it has benefits defined by a statute. Second, it has an explicit provision made to account for income and expenses. Third, it is funded by taxes or premiums paid by participants. And lastly, this program serves a defined population. From room to tomb, these are the words of SSS head administrator Einstein Eugenio. Truly a masterfully crafted name. Offering services ranging from maternity loans to life insurances, truly the phrase "till death do us part" cannot be applied to this institution. Big words, if you ask me. One can only give the benefit of the doubt, and we will try to uncover if the SSS truly deserves the titles it holds. Come and see. Social Security system was first proposed in Congress by former President Manuel A. Rojas, who was seeking to create a system for wage earners and low-salary employees. This was included on his State of the Nation address on January 26, 1948. I notice I don't have coffee. Coffee, please! Thank you, good sir. So where was I? In line with his statements, on July 7, 1948, President Elpidio Quirino created the Social Security Commission, which was his first act as the official president of the Philippines. Through the commission, the Social Security Act was drafted and submitted to Congress and was introduced by Representative Floro Crisologo. The Republic Act 1161, or Social Security Act of 1945. Despite the fact that this was enacted, the process was rough for its implementation, objected by businessmen and labor groups. Through those objections, the process was delayed. In 1957, it was finally implemented after its tough objections from the group. Because the Social Security system was still growing, some groups of self-employed persons were required to contribute to the Social Security Fund in 1980. But to be fair, there are benefits provided by law. The development of Social Security system grew on May 1st, 1997, as President Fidel V. Ramos signed RA 8282, or the Social Security Act of 1997, which strengthens the SSS by means of providing better benefit packages, expansion of the overall coverage, penalties for violators of law, flexibility in investments, and more. The typical day-to-day operations of the aforementioned Mr. Einstein Eugenio included that during their working hours, claimants are going to form a line on a particular counter, depending on their needs. It can be in the form of loans or benefits such as sickness, maternity, disability, retirement, death, or even funeral. Basically, the claimants are provided a queue number which has a corresponding counter, as discussed earlier. So what are the claimants up to then? To discuss, we must first know what the benefits of SSS are. Let's start with sickness, which is a type of benefit that is a daily cash allowance, paid for the number of days a member is unable to work due to sickness or injury. The qualifying conditions of this type of benefit are the following. First, the member is unable to work due to sickness or injury and is confined either in a hospital or at home for at least 4 days. He or she has paid at least 3 months contribution within the 12-month period immediately before the semester of sickness or injury. Third, he or she has used up all company sick leaves with pay for the current year and has duly notified his or her employer, or he or she must notify the SSS directly by filing a sickness benefit application if he or she is separated from employment. A self-employed or voluntary member, including overseas Filipino workers, the amount of benefit is granted up to a minimum of 120 days in one calendar year. The next benefit is the maternity benefit, which is another type of benefit, also has a daily cash allowance granted to a female member who is unable to work due to childbirth or miscarriage. The qualifying conditions of this type of benefit are the following. The member has paid at least 3 months of contributions within the 12-month period immediately before the semester of her childbirth or miscarriage. If employed, she must have given notification of her pregnancy through her employer, or she must directly notify the SSS if she is separated from employment. The amount of benefit is granted up to first 4 deliveries or miscarriages only. Disability, which is another type of benefit, has a cash benefit granted either as a monthly pension or a lump sum amount to a member who becomes permanently disabled, either partially or totally. The qualifying conditions of this type of benefit are the following. The member is paid at least 1 month contribution before the semester of disability to qualify for a monthly disability pension. He or she must have paid at least 36 monthly contributions prior to the semester of disability. If with less than 36 months contributions, he or she is granted a lump sum amount. The amount of benefits is that the lowest monthly disability pension is 1,000 pesos. If the member has less than 10 credited years of service, 1,200 if with at least 10 years of credited years service, and 2,400 if with at least 20 credited years of service. Retirement, which is another type of benefit, has a cash benefit granted either as a monthly pension or a lump sum amount to a member who can no longer work due to old age. The qualifying conditions of this type of benefit are the following. The member is at least 60 years old, separated from employment or has ceased to be self-employed, and has paid at least 120 monthly contributions prior to the semester of retirement. He or she may be granted a lump sum amount, but will also be given the option to continue paying contributions to complete the 120 months to become eligible for monthly income. The amount of benefit is that the lowest monthly retirement pension is 1,200 if the member has 120 monthly contributions or at least 10 CYS, or 2,400 pesos if with at least 20 CYSs. Hello, I'm John once again. You may have noticed a change in sector, but nonetheless, you're still with the SSS. And on to another benefit. And death benefit is a cash benefit granted either as a monthly pension or a lump sum payment to the beneficiaries of a deceased member. Qualifying conditions of this type of benefit are the following. Monthly death pension is granted to the beneficiary of a deceased member who had paid 36 monthly contributions prior to the semester of death. A lump sum amount is granted to the primary beneficiary if the deceased member had less than 36 monthly contributions. There are no primary beneficiaries, the member's secondary beneficiaries shall be given a lump sum amount. The amount of benefit is that the lowest monthly death pension is 1,000. The member had less than 10 CYS, 1,200 with at least 10 CYS, and 2,400 with at least 20 CYS. Which brings us to the last kind of benefit the SSS offers, the funeral benefit, hence the phrase, from room to tomb. Funeral benefits are a cash benefit given to whoever paid for the burial expenses of the deceased member. The qualifying conditions of this type of benefit are the following. The employee member was reported for coverage by his or her employer, a self-employed member, an OFW, or a non-working spouse who had at least one contribution payment, and a voluntary member who was previously covered either as employee, self-employed, or UFW, and had at least one contribution paid. The amount of benefit is that the funeral benefit is a variable amount ranging from a minimum of 20,000 to a maximum of 40,000, depending on the member's paid contribution and CYS.
As you can see, people can quickly turn to the SSS in times of financial need. However, it has also provided its members with short-term loan programs from which they can borrow for personal loans.
In terms of membership loans, SSS is salary loans, which is a cash loan granted to an employed, currently paying, self-employed, or voluntary member. It is intended to meet the member's short-term credit needs. The SSS also supports the development and expansion of businesses and industries, as well as expansion of small and medium enterprises. This is done through the various SSS business and social development loan programs and credit facility. In terms of business loans, the SSS has the Business Development Loan Facility, which is the lending facility of the Social Security system designed to contribute to the nation's economic growth by providing financial assistance to the business sector for the purpose of increasing productivity and enhancing potential earnings. Another one is the Social Development Loan Facility, which is a lending facility of the Social Security system designed to provide long-term loan assistance for the development of facilities and establishments of institutions that provide quality education or other academic training programs and affordable medical or health care, related services to the general population and to SSS members and their dependents. Another one is Fixed Term Credit Facility, which is a lending facility of the Social Security system designed to provide sustainable fixed-term credit facility to SSS accredited participating financial institutions for re-lending to eligible private enterprises in order to improve and hasten their operations for a more globally competitive market. Lastly, the access of small enterprises to sound lending opportunities of the ASESO program, which is formerly Sulong program by the government financial institutions, is designed to give small and medium enterprises greater access to short and long-term funds by simplifying and standardizing the lending procedures. It also offers loan options to qualified members. In terms of housing loans, we have direct housing loan facility for workers' organization members, which aims to provide socialized and low-cost housing to workers who are bona fide members of duly registered and accredited workers' organizations. Another one is the direct housing loan facility for overseas Filipino workers, which is designed to support the government's shelter program, which aims to provide socialized and low-cost housing to overseas Filipino contract workers. Next one being the housing loan for repairs and improvements, which is a lending program in the Social Security system available either directly from the SSS or its accredited participating financial institutions. And lastly, the assumption of mortgage, which is a lending program in the Social Security system, allowing a member in good standing to assume the updated principal balance of an existing SSS housing loan. In conclusion, the SSS is a social insurance system designed to help every Filipino man or woman or child, or a dead Filipino man, woman, or child. In this case, it is always lovely to know that there is someone to get your back, to hold you in times of trouble. And in this case, it is the SSS. Share your burdens with others. And see us next time. I've been John.